Thank you for joining. Mr. Okon, you are welcome to People's Parliament. Can you hear me? All right. Good evening, viewers. And thank you for joining us tonight on People's Parliament. You understand this is a political session that we are entering. Now that we are approaching the next presidential election, a lot of political activities will be coming up. We will be carrying you through the conversation as it unveils to the public domain. I remain your host, Mr. Ako Christian Oche, and this is People's Parliament via COPDEM Media TV. Remember, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Kindly subscribe to the channel and be part of the media endeavor. We are building the COPDEM Media TV to ensure that we have adequate presence in the social space. So tonight we are taking a look at some national as well as international headlines as it relates to Nigeria. Of course, Bayo Onanuga has been riddled in corruption allegation. That's the presidential spokesperson, Mr. Bayo Onanuga. Onanuga has always been critical against key opposition figures like His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. And for him to have this existing corruption allegation case, he has a lot to do in order to be able to vindicate himself from this corrupt allegation. We'll be taking a look at Niclas Maduro. We understand the Venezuelan president has been a long chase of President Donald Trump, who has given several opportunity to retrieve the step and take responsibility for good governance of his country and end all forms of drug ties with persons who are found to be wanting in carrying out. Okay, can I hear me? Can you confirm to hear me, please? All right. Maduro has been found to be wanting in a lot of aspects when it comes to drugs. And this has not sit well with the United States President Donald Trump, who has often been very critical against drug dealers that are finding their way to the United States of America. We're also going to be looking at Kwankwaso, Natasha, and others that are following the tsunami of the obedient movement, as well as His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi's declaration at Enugu State. So we'll be taking a critical look at that. We'll be having a conversation in that regard, as well as Sultan. Sultan has gone missing since the airstrike that landed in Sokoto, northwest Nigeria. He has missed out from public function. He's not been seen to be available. He's not been seen to showing himself across national events. And to this end, there are speculations around whether he has gone hiding in an unknown or undisclosed location. It remains, rumor until officially confirmed. Of course, 2027, the Quad Steering Committee has set 7th January 2026 as the official unveiling to the press. You'll be addressing the press. The Quad Committee, of course, is made up of the COPDEM is made up of freedom movements, Big Tent, CPO, that have come together to have an organizational front, like a gatekeeper for the movement, and ensure that things are done properly going into 2027 for His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, to provide leadership and provide direction for the generality of Peter Obi supporters worldwide. That's the essence of the Quad Committee, the steering committee has been making headlines. So on this note, we have in the studio our guests via Zoom, Mr. Sean Joshua, you're from Plateau State. What's your contribution on the subject matter? And before you go on, permit me to reel out a short documentary I have in respect to Bayo Onanuga. Bayo Onanuga has been accused of corruption. And globally, it is expected when you are accused of corruption or you have an impending corruption case standing against you, you are supposed to do what? Honorably, you step aside from governance. But here we are. Bayo Onanuga has been sitting on corrupt allegation case for so many years now, and he is now the spokesperson of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I mean, how do you expect the international community to perceive Nigerians that the spokesperson to the president of the federation is riddled with corruption allegations? Are we now saying corruption has become a norm in Nigeria, where the federal might find a way to decorate corruption? Let's take a dive into the editorial segments where we're taking a critical look at what this entails and the implication it has on the national outlook. I will start by going this way. Suspend Onanuga pending investigation. That's the position of COPDEM. We are calling for the suspension of Bayo Onanuga pending the outcome of the investigation. We cannot afford to continue to have the spokesperson of Mr. President who is facing trial. Globally, like I said earlier, it is expected that Bayo Onanuga should resign. He should step aside and allow independent investigation into the matter. Allegations of corruption once rose against a public official occupying a sensitive position as high as spokesperson to the Mr. President, demand a sober attention and decisive leadership. The recent resurfacing of unresolved allegations of financial impropriety against Mr. Bayo Onanuga, now serving as a presidential spokesperson, raises serious questions about propriety, public confidence, and the integrity of government communications. How can Nigerian and the global community hold in high esteem any communication that is coming from Bayo Onanuga, knowing that he has a pending corrupt allegation standing against him? He has to clear himself before he will continue to parade himself as the spokesperson of Mr. President. In May 2019, staff unions of the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, formally accused Mr. Onanuga, then managing director of the agency, of alleged financial misconduct, including irregular handling of internally generated revenue. The unions petitioned anti-corruption agencies, notably the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to investigate his stewardship. Mr. Onanuga denied the allegation and publicly expressed willingness to face investigation. However, there has been no clear public record of a definitive probe or formal resolution of the matter. Today, Mr. Onanuga occupies a far more consequential position as a spokesperson for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of Nigeria, a role that requires unimpeccable credibility. Presidential spokespersons are not merely political appointees. They are the public voice of the presidency, entrusted with shaping national narratives and defending government policy. Any cloud of unresolved allegations, regardless of their origin, undermines the moral authority of that office. President Tinubu has repeatedly affirmed that his administration is committed to transparency, accountability, and zero tolerance for corruption. But in this case, having Bayo Onanuga continue to parade himself as the spokesperson of Mr. President has no doubt cast doubt in the minds of the global community as to the credibility of the person, of the spokesperson of Mr. President, Mr. Bayo Onanuga. Those principles cannot be collectively applied. They must extend to all who serve as at the highest level of government, especially those who speak on behalf of the president himself. You can't be speaking on behalf of the president and having a corrupt allegation standing against you. That on its own is a problem and it has to be resolved. Those principles cannot be selectively applied. You can't claim to be fighting corruption selectively. They must extend to all who serve at the highest level of government, especially those who speak on behalf of the sitting president himself. Suspension is not a declaration of guilt. Let's be straight. Rather, it is prudent administration measure that allows due process to run its course without prejudice or distraction. Temporarily stepping aside would enable the EFCC to conduct a thorough, independent investigation into the era of allegation, free from perceptions of political shielding or institutional pressure. To this end, failure to act risks sending the wrong signal to the public and as well as the international community. That proximity to power confers immunity from scrutiny. Continual occupation of the office of the spokesperson to Mr. President is granting an undefined immunity for investigation. At a time when Nigerians are being asked to make sacrifices in the name of reforms and discipline, government must demonstrate that no individual is above accountability. There is a saying that no one is above the law. Yes, in this case, no individual is above accountability. We therefore urge Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the interest of institutional integrity and public trust, to direct the immediate suspension of Mr. Bayo Onanuga as presidential spokesperson pending the conclusion of an investigation that is supposedly handled by EFCC. Such action would reinforce the administration anti-corruption drive and its stance when it comes to anti-corruption, and reaffirm the principles that public office is a trust, not a shield. Only through transparency and equal application of the law can confidence in governance be sustained. You don't sustain the confidence of the international community in your government through propaganda. You sustain it by your critical stand against corruption. There has to be an equal application of the law. The law must not be selective on certain individuals and be very hard on certain other key opposition figures. Particularly, Malami is currently undergoing investigation with the EFCC. He has been denied bail severally.
We are not hearing you. Hello.
To be fair to all, justice must not take side. Justice must be seen to be done by all. Anti-corruption should be an open adventure for the EFCC to conduct. It should not be selective. Government officials should not be shielded from investigation. We have Yaya Bello, who is still running freely, yet he has an unanswered case with the EFCC, still unanswered. So these are issues that deserve public scrutiny, and that's why we are bringing it up, so that the global community will be aware that the fight against corruption only ends in theory and has never been put to practice by Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. On this note, I welcome my guests in the studio. Please, you those that are joining via Zoom, if you want to have a contribution on the subject matter, feel free to unmute. Let's keep it rolling. Nigeria is burning and we cannot afford to sit in our comfort zone. Please unmute. Let's have a conversation. Remember, number one on our item for tonight is Bayo Onanuga, having been riddled in corruption allegation. Number two, Niclas Maduro, who has been arrested by the President of the United States on grounds of promoting hard drugs into the United States as a country. So, of course, Kwankwaso and Natasha are warming up to join the ADC coalition. You understand, Kwankwaso is in the wave of betrayal by the sitting governor, who has severally indicated interest to join the APC, following pressure from the incumbent president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who believes that there should be no opposition, rather it should be one-party system. And Nigerians are saying the other way around. We are on the ground that there must be opposition come 2027, and we are calling for credible election, putting INEC on notice to continue to do those pre-election matters, pre-election investigation, find out the credentials of political office holders, as well as intending political office holders, starting from Mr. President. They must be seen to be carrying out investigation. So my guest in the studio, please, while I read out the remaining headlines that were initially dealt with, Sultan has gone into hiding. He has been disappearing from public function after the USS strike in Sokoto, northwestern Nigeria. So we are asking questions and spotlighting is missing from public function, such that we'll get official response directly from Sultan himself. Let him respond. We want to know his current location and why he has gone mute over time when there was US airstrike in northwestern Nigeria against terrorist hideouts. Why should he be in the know of such a disastrous terrorist hideout and not speak about it? He should be the number one to drum the alarm, but then he never said anything about it. It is on this note that it's beginning to attract public scrutiny. And 2027, the Quad Steering Committee has been set up and will be addressing the world come 7th January 2026. Comrade Edeke Sunday, you are welcome to People's Parliament. You are regular on this program, and I believe you have contribution on the subject matter. Please feel free to unmute and speak.
Good evening, Mr. Ako, with due process.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you very much for this wonderful program. I want to start by saying that if Bayo Onanuga, is found being accused of corruption, let me use that way, let me use that language, and the government of the day, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, need to do the needful. No, we cannot continue to withhold people because they are not a member of their political party. They should treat everybody equal as far as we are all members of this same great country today. Anyone found in the corruption allegation or anyone tagged with corruption they should try that person. No matter whom that person may be, they should try the person and ensure that if that person is found guilty at the end of the day, the punishment, attached to that corruption, law should be taken against that fellow. So we should not say, okay, this person is a member of my party. As far as you are here, you are safe. Look at the case of Yaya Bello and some other of the APC members. People are watching. This is not the best way. Nigeria as a nation cannot move forward like this. Look at Malami. Me, I'm not supporting whether somebody involved in corruption or money laundering or whatever. But as you are trying Malami, you should be trying Yaya Bello the same way. And the issue of the Bayo and Onanuga should be tried. And first of all, it should be go on suspension. They should suspend him from that office before trying him. So, let the law begin to work in this country. That is my advice for the president and the people in this cabinet. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Comrade Sunday. And do we have more contribution on the subject matter? Of course, the headline for tonight has been shared across board. In case you want to have your contribution, feel free to unmute. We are looking at a number of issues as it affects governance in Nigeria. Bayo Onanuga is riddled in corruption allegation. And that's why we are calling for an independent investigation into the matter, while he was expected to step aside. Globally, when you are accused of corruption allegation, you should step aside for an independent investigation. Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot be pretending to fight corruption, whereas his own spokesperson is facing corruption under the news agency of Nigeria now. So he's expected to clear his name. You cannot head an organization, and when you are accused of corruption, you fail to defend yourself in law courts. You fail to answer the investigation, and you went ahead to continue as presidential spokesperson. It's just in this part of the world. Globally, Bayo Onanuga should be arrested, not being given appointments. But here we are. You know, corruption reward corruption.
Yes, he should be arrested. He should be given suspension. I mean, he should be given suspension from the office and be arrested. They should try him. The government should try him. They should not say he's my brother or he's my person, he's my member of my party. Things does not move forward like that. So let
Okay,
the president do the needful.
taking a sharp look at the situation that is happening in the United States. The US government, led by President Donald Trump, they are currently addressing the world. The reason why Maduro, that is Niclas Maduro, was arrested by the US forces. And the reason is not far-fetched. Maduro has been accused of involvement and deliberately undermining the US government by his utterances and his activities as a sitting president. Nicolas Maduro became president of Venezuela following Hugo Chavez's death in 2013 and declared victory in the presidential election in 2019. This is the background that led him to become the president of Venezuela. The National Assembly of Venezuela invoked the Venezuelan constitution and declared that Maduro had usurped power and was not the president. This is the position of the assembly, right? The National Assembly of Venezuela. They believe that Maduro hijacked the office. He usurped the power and pronounced himself against the constitutional procedure he should have followed to emerge and become the president. So that being said, of Venezuela, since 2019, more than 50 countries during the United States have refused to recognize Maduro as Venezuela's head of state. How can you hijack power and you occupy the office? There is procedure. You must undergo election. You must get the popular votes cast in that election, going by the constitutional condition before you can emerge as the president. But in the case of Maduro, it's the other way around. He declared himself and continued to usurp power to himself, appoint his cronies to take over the government. In July 2024, the Venezuelan president election, Maduro again declared himself. That was in 2024, after the 2019. He went ahead to repeat the same approach for 2024. He declared himself as Venezuelan president. Maduro again declared himself the victor, despite evidence of the contrary. The United States joined many other countries in refusing to recognize Maduro as the legitimately elected president in the 2024 contested election. That will not stop him from continuing to occupy power. There's a reason why we are looking at this. We are looking at 2027, and we are looking at a dangerous, a desperate person who is already in charge of Asura. And that's why we're beginning to look at the situation in Venezuela, so that at least you'll be able to anticipate and learn from history. Maduro helped manage and ultimately lead the cartel of SUNS, a Venezuela drug trafficking organization comprised of high-ranking Venezuela officials. As he gained power in Venezuela, Maduro participated in a corrupt and violent narco-terrorism conspiracy with the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC, a designated foreign terrorist organization. Maduro negotiated multi-ton shipments of FARC-produced cocaine directly, cocaine coordinated with narcotics traffickers in Honduras and other countries to weapon and other countries to facilitate large-scale drug trafficking, and solicited assistance from FARC leadership in training an unsanctioned military group that functioned in essence as an armed forces. He created his own armed forces. That's how dangerous Maduro is. And a unit of the cartel of the Suns, they are responsible for providing logistics for all the drugs, cocaine that they ship from different countries into the United States. In March 2020, Maduro was charged in the Southern District of New York for narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import cocaine, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and other destructive devices. He was charged in the courts. After initially offering a reward offer of up to $15 million for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Maduro in 2020, the Department of State, January 10, 2025, increased the reward offer to up to $25 million on August 7, 2025. The Department of State announced the further increase of the reward offer of up to $50 million after the Department of Treasury sanctioned cartel of the Suns as a specially designated global terrorist on July 25, 2025. As leaders of cartel of the Suns, Maduro is the first target in the history of the narco rewards program, with a reward offer exceeding $25 million. So these are some of the offers that motivated people to provide information that led to the successful arrest of Maduro from Venezuela by the United States military intelligence. So why are we looking at the case of Maduro in Venezuela? He has a similar background with the man in charge of Aso Rock today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was also tried of narco case at Chicago, where he even forfeited proceeds of drugs and cocaine and other hard drugs. He forfeited the proceeds as a reason not to go to jail. And here we are. Tinubu also contested election in 2023. You all know what happened. He never won the election. He usurped power to himself. He bought the institution that declared him 4 a.m. that is the winner. The nation did not celebrate when he was declared. Everywhere was like graveyard. Everybody went into sober reflection. He continued to usurp himself as the president of Nigeria. He never had the legitimacy. The legitimacy is the ultimate power the people give you to govern them. The people of Nigeria never gave President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the power to govern them. So he lacked the legitimacy.
Bring a plate for me.
On the subject matter. So the reason, before you go on, please, the reason we are looking at the case of Maduro and comparing it with that of the case of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that going into 2027, we are looking at a sitting president that will not be willing to accept the outcome of the election if he did not go his way. And he should look at the end point of Maduro. He has been arrested. That is to say, he can face similar fates. So you can go with your contribution, Mr. Dege Sunday?
Well, thank you, Mr. Due Process. You are even you know it more than me. I just want to trip into it because all the analysis you have given now, I don't think me I can be able to give it to that level. I never even understand it to that level. I only understand that it was charged for drug, trafficking and terrorism. I was aware of that too. But the other area you mentioned, in fact, and that is to say, it is true that almost similar things to Nigeria, the way it is now. Because we are also hearing drug battle, what have you here. We don't know how that one is, how true is that. And also the same way of hijacking power and all of that. So I want to give it to the United States military, led by President Donald Trump, because the way that man was captured from the a presidential residence, I was very shocked that America have power to capture anybody they want to capture from anywhere. In fact, they are doing a very great job as far as this world is concerned. I begin to see Donald Trump as the president, the world president. Let me use it that way, because any country that is not doing the normal thing as it stands now, most especially the area of terrorism and drug trafficking and all, what have you, this man will penetrate there and get rid of that person and try that person in the United States of America. So I will stop here because, like I said, you understand the issue of Venezuela. The president Nicolas, what do you call it, Maduro, or what do they call it? So than me. So there is a little I can just contribute on that.
All right. Before we wrap up the program for tonight, who else will have contribution in respect to Sultan? Sultan has gone underground. He has gone missing in action. He has not been seen in public function since the U.S. airstrike in Sokoto, and a lot of public insinuations are beginning to pop up.
Hello, are you with me?
Also, we'll be looking at Kwankwaso warming up to join the ADC. Go on, please.
Yes, yes. On the issue of the Sultan of Sokoto, there is no hiding place for the wicked. If he's found guilty, he's running here, scatter. Is it running out of this world? America have everything to track whoever they want to get. If you like, he run to what do they call it, Iraq or Ukraine or what do they call it, any country. If you like going, America, they will monitor him. That's why I used to say in case of Sheikh Gumi now is numbered. They will get him very soon. I don't understand that they have even deleted everything all the wrong things that are tweeted about America from his space. So if they are not afraid, why are they running? So that of Sultan of Sokoto, because as a head of the institution, traditional ruler for that matter, running scatter from one place to another, even missing the way we are hearing now. That is to say, they really know what may come upon them. But I was thinking that there was an airstrike in Kaduna. I thought it was the time the one of Kaduna happened. That was when he ran away after the Sokoto. There was another one that happened in Kaduna. You remember?
Yeah,
Yes. I think that was the time he ran away. Up till now, nobody knows his whereabouts. So America will find him. Me and you may not know where he is whereabouts, but America will know. Nobody can hide.
And
Look at the
situation,
Saddam Hussein then of those days. You remember what America told him? America
mm,
told him that even they can get him from his bedroom, or even if he's in bedroom where he's taking his bait, they can get him from there. That they
mm.
see anybody they want to catch, they will see him. Even when you are naked, they will know you are naked. You understand? So you don't run away from America. Once you are guilty, they will get you. That is the truth.
And taking a dive into Kwankwaso, Kwankwaso is in the midst of betrayal. He has been betrayed by the sitting governor, which he supported and endorsed to become the governor of the state. Now the governor is interested in joining the APC, or whether he has already joined, but all is set for him to join the APC. Now Kwankwaso felt, well, for instead of me to lose out completely, I will join the coalition. Otherwise, from day one, he has not shown interest in the coalition. But now, instead of standing alone, he decided he's warming up to join the coalition, which is a welcome development. I've always been an advocate of everyone coming together and having a common front to terminate this bad government of Tinubu APC. There is no gainsaying in trying to maintain standing alone when you cannot do it alone. It's good that he is accepting the reality and warming up to join the ADC coalition at this point. And Senator Natasha as well, we have intel that any moment she will be announcing her defection to the ADC. So it's good that these different political platforms, political personality, gladiators are finding reason to be part of the coalition. It's a welcome development, and I believe it will give further headache to the ruling party, APC, whose days are numbered in Aso Rock. Their days are heavily numbered. There is no miracle, there is no pathway to Tinubu presidency come 2027. As a matter of fact, if I were Tinubu, I would just dedicate the remaining days I have in the office towards cleaning the room, ensuring that all misappropriation are looked into and rectified. Proper accountability, because no matter what they may think, irrespective of any opposition leader talking about it, they must give account to Nigerians. You cannot borrow trillions and trillions of naira and not give account without showing the work that you have done with the money. Just 2024 alone, $113 billion went for military equipment without accountability. Mr. Joshua, you want us to have a contribution? Mr. Joshua, you want to speak? You are mute.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes, good evening. You're welcome to
There's so much to say, but I just wonder where to start from. You know, this thing called shame, it's like a two-edged sword. We don't want to, we don't want it, but we need it. Like, okay, how do we look at ourselves and raise our head high and look at the world with the things that surround us as a people? Because we need shame to be orderly. And I just hope that our shamelessness will not be our undoing, because this had been far too long. I just trust that in a short while things will be better than the way we are, and our labor will not be in vain. Let's just keep faith, let's keep moving, let's keep expectant, and let's keep doing what we could do in our little corners, trusting that it will have a ripple effect. I wish us all the best. So that
Thank
in the
you.
next 25 years, next 30, 70 years, a generation will rise up and remember that some people somewhere, somehow, call COPDEM, set the foundation to bring back the things that we lost. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
I will be drawing the curtain for tonight until I come your way another day by Monday next week. I remain your host, Mr. Arthur Christian Oche. Please do well to subscribe to our COPDEM Media TV platform, COPDEM Media TV platform. Please subscribe and be part of the journey towards resetting Nigeria. This is the little you can do to contribute your quota towards the Rescue Nigeria mantra. Do well to subscribe to COPDEM Media TV. One love from the studio. Until I come your way on Monday, do have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.